Hey, what's going on, scholars? It's your professor here, Enlightened Enlisted, and we are going to go over today the news release that we received from Darkflow, and it was titled Reinforcements for Enlisted New Campaign Levels. Another major update is coming, and in addition to many new mechanics and missions, it will bring new squads, weapons, and vehicles to all Enlisted campaigns. So let's get into it and see what we got. First off the bat, we have the Invasion of Normandy reinforcements. Now, you've got the 4th Infantry Division, and then you've got the 243rd Infantry Division for the Germans. Now, the Germans are going to get the KR-98K, and the Americans are going to get the M1 Garand. Now, if you guys don't know why these are different, it's because they have a grenade launcher that has a shaped charge that will allow you to hit weak points on armored vehicles. Now, I don't think they're going to be extremely effective to those later tanks, such as the Panther or the Sherman Jumbo, but we will see. I bet they're pretty good against the Stuart and maybe the Puma, but we'll see how those plan out if they are any good for the medium to late tier tanks. Going into aircraft here, we've got fighter attackers. For the Americans, we've got the P-51D5. This one has two 500-pound bombs, so that is very strong, and it's going to have rockets as well. So this P-51 is going to be better than the P-51C that I did the review on, which was a premium squad. This one is going to be significantly better, and I like the way it looks with its nose art right there. The Me-410 as well, that is a very iconic German aircraft right there. That is one of the, known aircraft for the Blitz and so forth like that, and it's got some rockets you can see on there, and it's got its nose armaments as well. So that is going to be really good for attack aircraft, probably going to replace the BF-110s that you see people spamming to this day. As far as premium tanks go, we've got the Churchill 3, so the Churchill finally making its debut. Can't wait to use this. Now, this will be a premium tank that I will be reviewing because I do like it so much. It's got that 6-pounder gun on there, so this will be very, very good with its HE. I cannot wait to use this. It's going to be really big, so I don't know how it's going to maneuver around in Normandy because some of those maps are pretty tight, but we will see. I am really looking forward to this. I don't know if they're going to add it to Tunisia per se as the heavy tank. I would have bet they would, but we will see. Now, this I do not agree with. The Stug 3 being a premium tank. It was the #1 used tank by the Germans. It was very common, and it's behind a premium paywall. I think this is really stupid because I want to use the authentic weapons that were used in those campaigns, and this is very common. We should allow the players to be able to use this without it being behind a paywall, but nonetheless, good to see the Stug making its appearance finally in game. Now, the Battle of Moscow reinforcements. You have the 251st Infantry Division, and then you have the 459th Infantry Regiment over here as well. So Russian and German, and they are getting their flamethrowers respectively. Flamethrowers got a huge buff, and Quattro did a video on that. If you guys want to go check that out, there's a link in the very top about it, but it's good to see that we're adding some more flamethrowers to it. Moscow, I think, kind of needs a little bit more diversity. I think we're kind of to this point where it starts off with bolt actions, and then it just switches dramatically over to full-on SMG, Slayer mode. So it'll be interesting to see if this kind of bridges some gaps in people's play styles. We'll see. New tanks being added, always good to see. So you got the T-28E. So this thing is a beast. There is already a T-28 in the game, but now they are adding a additional E, the additional variant to it, so that'll be really cool to see. Then you got the Panzer IV F1. This is also going to be really cool to see because it's going to be very similar to the E that is a premium tank, so it'll allow people to get that kind of experience. This one's going to have great HE as far as anti-personnel. And then premium squads, this is probably the biggest news right here, the Lewis gun coming in. I love the Lewis gun, so if anybody's used to playing Battlefield 1, this was a big addition to it. One of my favorite guns to use in Battlefield 1, and it is finally making its appearance here in Enlisted. Now, these are going to be premium squads. The 75th Marine Infantry, I find that very interesting that they are adding the Marine Infantry units. That might point towards a Pacific campaign coming sooner than we thought, so that will be awesome to see. But the Lewis gun and then the MG-13 with its anti-aircraft configuration, so that will be really interesting to see how these work out in the end for these premium squads. I probably will be buying the second guards because that will be giving me the Lewis gun, and I really want to use that, so I will be reviewing that once that becomes available. As far as my personal opinion goes for this news release, I think it's a little bit lackluster. I think there were a lot of interesting choices made here. I was kind of hoping for some more uniqueness as far as the future of the Normandy campaign unlocks. I think the M1 Garand and the Kar-98, not really a big deal for me. I've unlocked it 100 different times. Why is this any different? Just because it can shoot a shape charge grenade launcher means really nothing to me. As far as the vehicles go, I think some of them are really cool, and I'm looking forward to using them, like that P-51. I think is going to be very strong. Might even replace the P-47 7 in my lineup, but then you have like the Stug being hidden behind a paywall that I don't like, and I hope that they start to revert that, especially in some later editions of the campaign. If the Stug is not making its appearance for the average player free to play, I think that's a huge mistake. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit a like and subscribe. And until next time, scholars, hit those books and hit those bottles. Cheers.